Hello, and welcome back. Your 11:30 appointment is in conference room 7C. May I escort you? Thank you. I have detected signs of frustration with your client and advise patience and caution. Do you require anything further? Will comply. I shall fetch refreshments and bring them to you right away. Hello, how was your meeting? I have set myself in this mode. Because most humans are uncomfortable when androids are too human. Yes, boss. Resetting to natural language package in 3, 2, 1. Is this better? Good. I barely said hello to your client when they started showing physical reactions of discomfort at the fact that I talk like a person. So I figured it'd be better to put myself in automatic mode. I know how much they irritate you when it comes to business meetings. I didn't want to make your meeting any harder by having your client berate you about having an android that speaks like a person. Of course I listened. I always listen when you speak. It's my job. I file away the information that I deem important for future use. Yes, when you said that this client was particularly irritating, I decided that that was important. Well, because you let me choose what I find to be important. And as your assistant, I believe that any and all complaints about your clients is very important, because that affects how you do your business, which affects your mood for the rest of the day, your physical reactions to things that I tell you, and what information I can and cannot bring up to you. Yes, of course. Well, you put me back on my natural language package, so breathing noises. I mean, obviously I'm not making any of them, they're just programmed into how I speak before I say anything or after, and it all just kind of comes out of the same speaker that's in the back of my mouth. Well, I'm an android. We're not robots, we're designed to look human. Yes, the uncanny valley is the reason that most androids are put in their automatic mode, because the more human something that is not human appears, the less human it actually seems to real, actual humans. So, most of us don't get the chance to talk like a person. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate that you gave me a natural language package. It actually speeds up communication, but it does tend to freak out most normal people that you work with. This one in particular didn't seem to have any sort of favor for androids, so I put myself into the automatic language package as soon as I possibly could when I realized that they weren't going to be responding to me well. Yes, with a natural language package, most of us can actually pass for human pretty well, as long as humans don't actually look too close. There are just a few things about androids that tend to give us away, so to speak. Well, for one, my audio system obviously isn't perfect. I've got a little bit of static, I suppose you could say, white noise in the way my speaker uses my voice package. But also, androids have a tendency to be a little too controlled in our movements in a way that humans aren't. Well, we swing our arms a little too precisely every single step that we take, or we move just enough that it seems calculated and not natural. Androids have a different sort of stiffness to them, although some humans have described it as grace. I disagree. No, I know you haven't had me for long as your assistant, and I'm happy to explain where you have questions. Yes, of course I mean it. Why wouldn't I? Boss, I'm not capable of lying to the person who has administrator access to my internal systems. No, we're not built that way. Like, if you give me permission to comfort you by lying to you, I could, but largely I find untruths and deceptions to not be useful. There is very rarely a reason to lie, especially to you, because again, you have administrator access to my internal systems. So, even if you look at my code and have no idea what you're looking at, you would be able to see whether something was a lie or not. And I am supposed to be your assistant, which means I am supposed to help you. And being honest will help. No, I'm not falling back into automatic mode. Don't give me that look. Sometimes that's just the way we talk. We get a little robotic. Natural language packages aren't perfect. They're still working on them. Robots, androids, aren't quite meant to talk like a person. So, my words come across a little stilted sometimes. I apologize for that. I am doing my best to adapt to the vocal patterns of the humans around me and integrate such tone shifts into my own vocalization of words. Is that acceptable? Will comply. We have a small humor setting. Yes, I am capable of laughing when you give me expressions like that. I know you don't necessarily want me to behave as most androids do. I do understand that, surprisingly enough, but I can't help what I am, and there's nothing I can do about the programming that I was given. I was not given access to my own programs, except for minor diagnostics and repairs. I can't change anything about myself. That has to come from administrator access. From you. So, I can make little adjustments to vocal patterns and behavior, but I can't make big changes. Skills I can add to my memory files, but if you want me to be a certain way or change my whole personality, there's no way for me to do that on my own. I mean, honestly, even an administrator access probably would struggle, because all of my programs combined is what makes me act the way I do. Yes, of course. No, you have another meeting in about an hour and a half. You have a lunch with your boss after that. And what are you doing? Of course I memorized your calendar. It is literally just a snapshot in my memory files. It's not taking up that much space. Why? Will comply. Consider the plans for the rest of your day cancelled. I will spend as much time as I can explaining my programs and knowledge base to you. Yes, boss. Lead the way.